Hi, I'm Scott Ward. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Next in Nashville. Ironically enough, with a good Texan, Josh Abbott from the Josh Abbott Band.
That was probably weird and creepy, wasn't it?
And I'm going to get this
I was
out
trying
of
to be smooth about
No,
that.
no. I love that.
All right.
I love that. And I'm going to get this out of the way up front. Why I am wearing this. I'm a graduate of Texas Tech.
Wreck 'em, baby!
So is my man here, Josh Abbott.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a
much.
lot. I appreciate you wearing the shirt. For all of you watching, he's actually wearing a long sleeve shirt on a
hot
summer day here in California. So
yeah.
that's a sacrifice.
You know, I haven't gotten to do this since Pat Green came around, so
Awesome.
I got excited when you were coming
That's
in.
great.
So your band, the band actually formed at Tech?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
okay.
banjo player was my fraternity brother,
Okay.
and we put together a little fraternity brother band. A couple other guys were in it. That was in 2006. I was in grad school. The rest of the guys were in undergrad, and yeah, we just basically played local gigs. We played a few out of town gigs, nothing too huge. And right when we were going into 2008, the drummer and the bass player were like, "Man, we're doing this for fun. We don't actually want to be touring musicians and be broke."
Hey, yeah.
But the banjo player and I were like, "Man, I think we have something here, so we're going to give it a shot." So we replaced them with a couple other guys and put out a little EP to some radio stations across Texas, and it kind of just blew up from there.
Now, is this true that you were that close to getting your master's degree?
That was true. That was true.
gosh.
But then
Are you crazy?
I finished.
You did finish?
Yeah. So
Right.
that was the spring of 2008, and I knew I was writing my thesis, and I couldn't focus on it and do music. And the music thing was really popping, I thought, at the time. Like, there were some things happening that I was just like, I don't know if this kind of stuff, momentum happens often.
Yeah.
So I said, I told my professors, I was like, look, I'm going to take incompletes on all this. I'm going to go pursue this music thing for about 3 to 5 years. And if I'm not making any money at that point, then I'm not going to be that broke musician that won't ever give it up.
Yeah.
I can always play for fun.
Yeah.
But I'm going to come back and graduate. So the career ended up taking off, but it still bothered me. So in the fall semester of 2012, I re-enrolled and flew back and forth to Lubbock, took some tests, wrote some essays and papers, and I graduated with my master's that December.
Well, okay, now I'm trying to frame this up because by 2012, Josh Abbott Band is pretty well established in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I'd say Texas and the Midwest. You know, we were doing a good job of branching out. So Texas up to Denver and Kansas City.
So what size venues are you playing? How many people are you playing in front of?
At that time?
Yeah, at that time.
Oh, I mean, thousands.
And he goes back to school.
I went
Okay,
back to
kids,
college, yeah.
stay in school.
Well, it was just important to me to have the degree, and you never know what this career is what's going to happen.
Yes.
You could blow up and be the next big thing, and then disappear within 5 years. You could have a long career of 50 years. You just don't know. And so I thought, what if something happens to my voice? You know,
Yeah.
What if I get in an accident and I'm not able to tour anymore? I got to be able to make a living.
Yeah.
And so having a master's degree was really important to me.
I don't want to paint you into a corner here, but you guys are very well established in Texas, and now you've been getting noticed around the country, around the world, and now it seems like even a few more people are paying attention. You just did the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I don't know, you're getting a foothold here in the state of California too.
Yeah, but California's treated us well, actually.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher out here. Obviously, country in general, I think, is a little bit tougher out in California than it is Texas and the Midwest. But we've, slowly been growing the markets, and we'll be back in September. We're going to play shows all up and down California, and we're really excited about that. But yeah, we were a Texas band when we started out, and we still are. But the thing is we tour nationally. We release songs on a national level.
Yeah.
So. We're a band from Texas, and we're proud of that.
That includes a great new song, Wasn't That Drunk, with guest vocalist Carly Pierce. I love this collection. This is part of your CD called Front Row Seat, which really kind of was almost the whole album was like a therapeutic exercise for you.
Really.
And it's a cohesive collection of songs, and it was kind of inspired by, the way events went down in your life.
Yeah, it's no secret. I was married and married the girl. I call her my college sweetheart. I met her in grad school, but she was still an undergrad, so I feel like it still kind of counts. But unfortunately, it didn't work. Made some real dumb decisions being on the road and drinking too much, and kind of the age-old story of pretty much every country singer that's ever come along. But unfortunately, that relationship ended, and I decided, for our next album that we had to put out something that was meaningful. I think the fans were waiting on, because all of our albums up to that point were so happy and fun and driven. And love, and I think our fans knew if we put another album out like that, we'd really be trying to sidestep what they knew I wanted to write about. So we just went down that path and wrote this album, Front Row Seat, put it together, and it's a story of a couple who find each other in college and they fall in love and they get married, and then it doesn't work out and they have to move on with their lives. And so you get a front row seat to this narrative with our album.
And it's so interesting to hear you talk about this. You talk like a playwright when you're talking about how it all came together.
It's the masters.
Well, I mean, does this point in the future direction for Josh Abbott? Do you have any thought like I'm going to write a novel or a screenplay someday?
I've been in talks with a couple guys out in LA about possibly writing a screenplay, so to speak. And I've co-produced all of our music videos pretty much, and I've even done it for someone else. So. Who knows? I think anytime you're on the arts side of things, a lot of times you'll see some crossover between musicians, singers, and actors and such. And so, if it ever happens, it happens.
It's very cool. I think the future is very bright for the Josh Abbott Band. I gotta wrap up with this last question. It was a request from one of our staff.
Okay.
First of all, let me kind of set you up, soften you up a little for this.
Soften me up.
Okay. How many phone numbers do you have in your phone? What do you think? What would you guess? 500, 600? What do you think?
I'd probably say about 500.
Do you have any really cool numbers in there? You want to name drop a little? Any? This is all leading somewhere.
I don't have to give the number though, right?
No. Just a name.
I mean, lots of athletes, actors, actresses, musicians, singers.
Funny you mention athletes. Dana, who's on our staff, wants to know if you have Coach Cliff Kingsbury's phone number. He's the coach of Texas Tech, and I don't know, can we put a picture of him up somewhere so any ladies that are looking at this can get an idea wherever this picture goes? But yeah, he's a pretty attractive guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I went to Vegas with him once. That was a mistake I may not make again, because when you go to the pool and you look like me, short and a little chubby, and you go to the pool with Cliff
next to a model,
tall and just
ripped.
Cut, I was like, okay, then I'm going with someone else next time.
But no, really, what about the number?
I do have his phone number.
All right, we'll talk off the.
Okay.
So anyway, this is Josh Abbott from the Josh Abbott Band. You hear them on K-Frog Next. You have heard them. We're like 3 or 4 singles deep into playing Josh Abbott Band on K-Frog Next. Follow the links right here. You can listen to K-Frog Next, and we'll also put up all the links for you do your own Instagram and everything?
I do. Okay. I run our Instagram and our Twitter.
Okay.
We don't have a Snapchat yet, but I don't run Facebook. I got off Facebook 3 years ago, and I've moved on to other. There's just too many. You can't run them all.
Gotta pick a few. Yeah.
I do Instagram and Twitter. I let our management do Facebook.
All right, and we'll Snapchat Coach Kingsbury later. But Josh Abbott Band, guys, thanks for checking it out, and join us here again for another edition of Next in Nashville.